Yo, somebody's been lying, but we're about to get to the bottom of it. There ain't nothing slick to a can of oil. Stay with me. You're gonna wanna watch this video to the end. I promise you. There's a divine connection between the Hebrew language and the American Indian languages, right? And English. And we're about to put some of those pieces together right now. Watch this. Waving a banner high in the air, the Indian guide soon was greeted by a puff of smoke far beyond the other bank of the river. In response to his signal, the two men waited. Eventually a canoe appeared, bearing 3 men and a woman, all of them Indians, to the place where Francisco and Montesinos were standing at the water's edge. The woman got off and spoke to Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montesinos could not understand, although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation. She then turned to her male companions to explain the situation. Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montesinos, and, to his utter astonishment, said, Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai Ehad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. They had recited in Hebrew, the fundamental credo of Judaism. We all know that words are spells and curses, right? And we know that the English language is full of spells and curses. My question is, why is there such a divine connection between the Indians of America and the Hebrew language? Are you aware of the Book of Mormon? The thing about a puzzle is there's different pieces scattered everywhere, and you have to bring them all together to get the bigger picture. Adherents to the Latter-day Saints movement view the Book of Mormon as a work of divinely inspired scripture which was written by ancient prophets in the ancient Americas. But watch this. And if our plates had been sufficiently large, we should have written in Hebrew, but the Hebrew hath been altered by us also. And if we could have written in Hebrew, behold, ye would have had no imperfection in our record. I guarantee you there's a divine connection.
Let me show you one more connection. In 1860, David Wyrick, he's a guy who surveyed the Newark earthworks. He was digging into a mound near those earthworks, and he found a wooden coffin made of oak. They opened up the coffin and found a skeleton of a man holding a little box that was about 8.10 inches in size. The box had been cemented shut here. This, by the way, is sitting in Ohio. Well, he opened up the box and he found a little man inside, a little black stone. They took it to scholars and they looked at it. The man seems to be carrying something, and there's writing here at first they couldn't recognize. The writing is, they thought in 1860, some sort of Hebrew. Well, finally, about 20 years later, they found some rabbis living in the area, and the rabbis looked at that, and they could read it. They said it was an old kind of block Hebrew, and it was a rendition of the 10 Commandments. Now, this is another piece. Block Hebrew, they said they'd never seen anything like it. Mainstream archaeologists at the time called this a hoax. But then in 1900, or just about after 1900, in Israel, they found the same block-style Hebrew writing. Mainstream archaeologists still dismiss the findings. They found it in Israel, and they found it in Ohio. But there was another stone that they found that they couldn't argue. This is the Bat Creek stone. It was found during the course of an official Smithsonian evacuation. The Smithsonian didn't understand the meaning of the writing on the stone. They thought it was Cherokee, since it came from Cherokee country. They didn't realize that it's actually Hebrew. They had published this originally upside down. They threw it in a box at the bottom of the Smithsonian, put it in the basement. Many years later, a scholar took it out of the box, looked at it, and went, oh my gosh, it's upside down. It's Phoenician, ancient Hebrew. So what's going on here?
I'll tell you what's going on. Yo, somebody's been lying, but we're about to get to the bottom of it. Get your copy today. Go to my website, rashadpoet.com, or go straight to Amazon. Let's break this down.